Joining us now is Barry Jonas. He is Managing Director and Senior Equity Analyst for the gaming industry at SunTrust Robinson Humphrey. Barry, welcome. How do you think Vegas's reopening is going to go?
Well, look, clearly there's going to be some pent-up demand. I think folks will come in from Southern California. That said, you've got 50% or less of the supply open. You've got reduced gaming capacity. And look, ultimately, with those limited non-gaming amenities right now, I think it's a struggle, right? If you look at Vegas, 2/3 of the revenue base are actually non-gaming. Only a third is gaming. So I think we'll see some pent-up demand in the near term, but our expectation is it'll be a slow recovery.
The key, I believe, Barry, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that people are going to wait and see. The guy like Contessa highlighted, is he going to go? Is he going to be okay, right? Once a few people see that there's a couple weeks to go by and people aren't getting sick, more people will come. At what point, how long will it take for you and your team to have any kind of data points to say, all right, now we know what's going to happen?
Look, I think we'll look to see gradual sequential improvements, but there are real risks out there. I mean, there have been casinos reopening over the past 2 weeks, and already in northern Michigan, there was a coronavirus case for one of the patrons who came. So, I think we'll keep our expectations low. Most investors are sort of thinking about what's the path back to 2019? Does it come in 2021, 2022? There could be an argument that some of the recovery we've seen in these stocks have gotten ahead of itself, but that's all we need to see, gradual sequential improvements for the time being.
Is there any one of the big casino companies that is better or worse positioned, given the current environment, Barry, than the others?
I think our preference is really smaller regional properties, to be honest with you. The larger players, more destination oriented, are really going to have to hope for medical advancements to put the consumer at ease. The smaller players, where the patrons sort of view it as their country club, they drive 30 minutes, 60 minutes, they go multiple times a week, we think the recovery will come sooner there. So I think we're cautious on the larger players, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to Tillman Fertitta on Power Lunch the other day, and of course he owns a Golden Nugget, privately owned. He said that the recovery was going very well, Barry.
Exactly. Some of those smaller regional drive-to properties are doing well. It's those destination resorts where you have to fly in, where there's a big group business, convention business. That's where it's a little trickier in terms of timing the recovery. So we've seen instances in tribal regional markets where with 50% of the gaming capacity or less, and limitations on how many people you can have in the building, you've actually seen revenue numbers ahead of pre-COVID levels, up year on year. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to continue indefinitely, but it's very encouraging. And again, it points to the fact that in these more drive-to regional localized markets, you have these high-frequency gamblers. 20% of your patrons make up 80% of the revenues, and they are coming back.